My name's Joe, we are Stellar Scaffolding, and this is episode 8. So we're back for episode 8. Today is Friday, so it's bill day, wages day, pay day. We're on the way to Brick Lane. We're going to show you exactly what the structures were built for. So we're going to have a look, have a walk around there. It'll only be a flying visit in and out. But I just want you to see, and to be fair for myself, I've not even seen it yet, so it'd be good to actually have a look and see exactly what it's used for. It'd be very, very good to see, very good to have a look. So I'm looking forward to getting up there. We're just coming through Richmond now. We got out a little bit late this morning, had a few bits to sort out. But the boys are all set up, the boys are all rocking and rolling, so everything's good. This Monday was meant to be a crazy, crazy period for us. It was meant to go mad. 2 of the jobs got pushed back. We're still moving, we got bits happening, but a time that I thought would be manic, and obviously I was almost not desperate to put in other work for because of that, because you want to perform on your jobs. They've been pulled back, and I'm now like trying to pull other stuff forward. So we're moving, but it's normally we're manic. It's not as manic as I'd like it to be, but we are moving. So yeah, like I say, transparency will always be number one.
How you doing, bro?
Alright, well I am until we're gone. What's up?
Glad to hear that.
Huh?
What are you up to?
What do you mean, bro? What? It's Friday morning, I'm on the road, mate. What are you up to? More to the point.
Why?
Huh?
Why are you on the road?
What do you mean?
What was I going to say to you?
No.
Bro, what?
Go on.
Oh, you made this a whirlwind now, aren't you?
Yeah, sweet. Go on, what's up? 5, 4. Yeah, go on.
Wait then.
That's meant to be a foreman, that is. Cheeky, man. He needs to be more serious. He's not serious.
Hello.
Hello, you alright?
Yeah, check your email. I've just sent you over this QS's comments. Yes, I think you applied for 20 grand, didn't you, scaffold?
Yeah.
And I applied for 50 grand's worth of demo. He's come back 20 grand for the whole lot, demo and scaff.
Well, so it should have been 70 grand and he's only put in for 20 grand.
Should have been 72 and he's come back with 20.
Oh my God. So that's a different project there. Basically, so we've got, there's a new QS that's come in. Same story as the other job that I've discussed with you before, but different project now. So yeah, they've undervalued our application massively. So we've put in an application for payment for works, all works that have been done and agreed, and this new QS has come in and he's undervalued our order. So my and my client's order combined is 70 grand. They've only signed off 20, which doesn't even cover my payment. So I've not actually looked at it yet, but obviously there's a massive undervalue that's taken place. And listen, but these sorts of things, yeah, obviously, like, you think this is only into episode 8. How much of this stuff have you guys seen now? Yeah, where there's messes around with money and large sums of money. So, and this is something that I want to speak on, is like, if your boss, yeah, and listen, me and my boys know the crack, we know the score, they know what I do, and it's not even discussed. Like, they know, they've known since day one, you know, what I bring to this business, yeah. But I also know what they bring, and that's why I talk about mutual respect. But for anyone out there, yeah, if you think that your boss is, just because you're not seeing him and he's not there labouring with you or scaffolding with you or stuck there on the tools, do not think that he is sat at home doing nothing, yeah, because what you have to deal with when you have these construction businesses is so much. Not only are you mentoring your men and being like a coach for your men, you're chasing money, you know, you're trying to win work, you're quoting multiple jobs. Like, you might be on one project, yeah. He's probably quoted about 10 projects that he's won one of those 10, yeah, for you to keep moving. So don't ever, yeah, don't ever take respect off your boss's name, because if your wages are being paid and that work is provided and the equipment is there and the fuels are in the lorry and the lorries are insured and your tickets are being updated and clothing is being ordered, all of these things, yeah, especially as a small growing business, these things aren't just things that are just magically put there, you know. It's not where you say a prayer and you wake up next morning and boom, like Christmas morning, it's all there. You know, these are things that are earned, and there's a process for all of it. And to every single thing you deal with, yeah, there are so many loopholes you have to go through to get these things done. Nothing is ever just set in stone and like done the first time. And like, that's why I'm showing you all of this. Like, what, we're into episode 8. How many issues have you seen and stumbles where there's issues where you've got to fight for money, multiple occasions, and then once it's agreed, you've then got to chase up to make sure the invoice is actually being paid. Yeah, so if you don't see your boss there, don't be sat there thinking like, oh my God, he's not doing nothing. Yeah, it's nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. Like, there is such a grind that has to take place. And say if I was stuck there, say if I was on the tools with the boys now, and this goes on, I've now got to come away, I've got to deal with this, because now their money's on the line. Not only is that detrimental to that job, do you know what I mean? I then can't actually deal with what I need to deal with properly. Whereas now, I can indicate, I can find a safe place to stop, and I can deal with what I need to. Yeah. Whereas if you're stuck on site, imagine now if we've got to chain up a load of gear. That job is now on stop. Do you know what I mean? There's a man out the chain, or there's a man off the tools. And listen, my story, you're going to hear my story, yeah? For now, keep like, my story will come, yeah? But for the minute, this is about the business, and I'm keep growing it for the business. My story will come, and I'm the most transparent man on this planet, yeah? You will hear everything. There's a time and place for that, and that's going to come, yeah? So for now, keep guessing, but my story will come. That now is not important. This is about the business, yeah? That's what started, that's what got us here. It's Stellar Scaffolding, you know? That's what got me into a place where I can actually start living a little bit, you know? Stellar Scaffolding has done a lot for me, so this is about the company. I'm paying my respects to the business and showing you exactly what happens with that, yeah? But imagine if I'm now stuck on a site and I've got to deal with these situations which arise constantly. Then I've got jobs that have got to be priced, you know? Then there's so many things that are like other jobs or I've got to deal with. So like this gang like moving sweet, but I've got this gang, you know? Like you can't do it all. My phone does not stop. Yeah, 9 times out of 10 it's problems, but I'm here to find the solution. So when I'm talking about things that need dealing with instantly, this is why I'm in the pickup. I'm out quoting jobs. We're doing this now. This is another thing that's come into my workload. Like, I'm always so busy, but I have to spend a lot of time dealing with silly things like this, where you've got new QSs coming in that want to prove a point, or you've got accounts people that are off sick, or all these things that you do not see, because I don't need to discuss with the boys, I just need to deal with it. And my thing that I say countless times is excuses don't pay bills. I don't need to sugarcoat things to the boys. I just need to get that money in and get paid, and that's it. Do you know what I mean? I've got to make sure the work is there, and that is it. Bottom line always. So that's why I'm showing you this stuff now, so you can see exactly what happens behind closed doors, and nothing is off limits, yeah? So listen, going back to the point that I started from here is, just because you can't see your boss on site, know that he is still doing what he's meant to be doing, and things are not black and white, just things are kept on.
Morning, Joe.
Morning, mate, you okay?
Yeah, how are you?
Yeah, good, mate, good. Yeah, so Monday we will be there, yeah, about the same sort of time, about 7:45. It's a project we're doing on Monday morning. It's a large freestanding crash deck that's going up about 13 meters from ground level. So what we're doing is, well, what the client's doing is they need to get a projector screen all the way up to the top of where our crash deck's going to be, and it needs to be hung on. There's that and a load of lighting that needs to be sorted out. So, but we'll show you that once it's up. But yeah, it's a nice project, to be honest. It's inside a church. Yeah, smart little project from a new client that's come through off the back of other work that we've done. So yeah, no, it'd be a nice project. It's crazy. Oh, it looks a bit different. It's crazy. Obviously when we left on Monday, these were just naked structures, you know, but obviously now they've got all the foam on, which obviously on a pavement job, or anything that's like pedestrian, anything where there's pedestrians likely to pass, obviously as standard, we put the foam on. Now here, the client wanted white foam, so they've got the white foam, they supplied their own caps, and they've also got what we call nipple caps as well. So these are the ones here that obviously just make sure that where the fittings are, obviously someone brushes past them, it's not going to cut them. So, and anyone involved in the industry will know that if you're not wearing a hard hat and you catch your head on the underneath of a fitting, it hurts an awful lot. See what they've done. I mean, I thought what we did in 24 hours was impressive, but look at the setup they've done. I think they've outworked us, to be honest. So boys, we need to do more next time. You can obviously see now why time was so of the essence, because obviously there's a big setup that they've had to do after we were finished. So as soon as we've handed over the structures, once they were finished and complete, they've obviously had to come in, and there's an awful lot of work they've had to do. And if you look at all the detail and all these little bits, there's a lot of work here. There's obviously a lot of money that's been spent on this project, not only on the scaffold. Obviously, I imagine that's probably just a third of the cost, but obviously there's a lot of work gone into the setup here. So it's vital in these types of projects that deadlines were made, and obviously, luckily, second half of Monday, the boys really pulled it out of the bag. And yeah, obviously, episode 7 was an absolute belter, and yeah, you can see the end result of the importance of the project and what it's become. This was the finale. This was the third last structure. So this was Kieran's boys' last project, the last structure. Once this was done, we still had 2 inside to finish. So yeah, this was the third to last one, and obviously the most straightforward. Obviously, see now why it was so crucial, where they've had to hoard off certain parts of the scaffold for our braces to be in the right place, the kicker to be in the right place, so they can obviously fix what they need to. Serious setup. Special project to be a part of, definitely. You don't realise until you're actually here and you see, like, obviously we're just the scaffolders in terms of, like, we've just got here to build the structure. Obviously that's just here nor there, you know, but in terms of the project, like, it's actually crazy what it's actually become. And yeah, serious setup, very impressive. So yeah, from to the kit mapper guys as well done, because yeah, what a setup this is. So once we got around to this point here, obviously we went down to collect more gear, and once we got to this point here, this is where the project started to pick up pace, and then the boys got to this one, to this one, to this one, and then we started coming back around here. And once this was done, we knew we were on the final straight, but we'll go and have a look at where we started now. See this bit here, obviously you can see now why it was so vital that our distances off the wall were what they were, and they were so crucial, is because of obviously the space all the way around off the building to allow pedestrians to walk through, obviously probably side by side, a couple of people to walk all the way around and have a look here. So, and you can see that they've used absolutely every single element of the scaffold. There's obviously a reason why everything was so critical to be the way it needed to be, although obviously when we were here things were changing. Although we had our own designs, they were deviating slightly once we were here because things weren't working exactly how they thought it would be. So it's like anything, once something's on paper, like, you can have a plan, but until you're here, sometimes you're actually doing it, it's hard to see, or it's hard to know exactly what's needed. So there was a few deviations, which is why we lost a lot of time in the morning, but once we knew our plan, that's when we started to pick up pace. But yeah, this is where we all started. So yeah, I didn't think it would be such a setup with so much going on. Obviously I wasn't in talks at all. I wasn't needed to be for this part of the project, but it's, yeah, crazy to come back and see what it's become, and it's very impressive. So yeah, that's going to round off our visit here. Hopefully it's given you a good insight, a full insight to exactly what the project was for. But yeah, we're going to get on the road now and go to project number 2. You're a little bit stuck with me today, to be honest. So obviously, like I said, I'm just running with these as they come. We've just been to the project there in East London, see the art gallery. We're now on the way to Kensington. Obviously we've got the big crash deck that you saw being erected a couple of episodes ago. That's now done. Mac Demo's broken out the floor above, so we're going back. The boys are back there now, flying through it. We're going to go and see how they're getting on. Obviously we've got a crane there as well, a tower crane lifting everything off and onto the lorry, so we're going to go and have a look at that as well. Another thing I wanted to say as well, me, yeah, I absolutely love it, like hearing that other people in our industry are busy, and obviously I feel like I'm kind of not the voice of the industry, but obviously I'm the one who's like in our industry really going for this and becoming vocal with what we do and the truth of what actually goes on inside the lives of a scaffolding business. And what I really want people to see is like the ups and the downs, the highs and the lows, and you know, obviously track not only our journey but also just understand how anyone in scaffolding's journey is. And my whole setup is, I love hearing like when other people are busy, and like I don't, one thing I never understand is when people like get jealous or get funny. Like obviously we've got massive goals, and there is boys, yeah, there is businesses out there in our industry that we could not even tie their laces in terms of what we've achieved in this thing. I know the owners of those companies are watching as well, and I know that they're a fan of what we're doing and respect what we're doing. And listen, I respect massively what they've done. And obviously we're the underdogs, we're coming up, we're trying to climb this step by step, and it's gonna take time, but I'm 31 years old, I've got time, I've got 20, 30 years in this thing, you know, so it's gonna take time, and there's no secrets to success. It is, like I said before, it's hard work consistently every single day over a long period of time. But when I hear that other businesses, other scaffolding companies are busy, I'm like, that is brilliant. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's all come together, you know, and let's all be busy together, you know. Like, listen, if we're providing a good service, like, brilliant, let's all be busy, because the busier this industry is and the better jobs that everyone's getting, the more valued we are as an industry, you know. As scaffolders, we need to get away from this 3-day work week that everyone thinks that we do, and you know, that everyone's on the drink and everyone's on the drugs. And yeah, listen, I'm not saying there's probably a large proportion of that, but in my company, no one is that. And I know a lot of other businesses locally that are the same, yeah. And I want this whole thing to change, this whole image, you know. Scaffolding is so physical. You're seeing through this channel how technical it is, you know, you're seeing how complex it is. And it used to be a silly myth in construction that scaffolding isn't even a trade. Like, that is the most mind-blowingly silly, ignorant comment. You've seen some of the projects we've done. There are big companies out there that the projects that we've done that are big to us, again, they are absolutely nothing to them. They're not even a decimal of the projects that are completed out there. And the complexity of some of this work that is done is absolutely mind-blowing. So I just feel like, and what I want to come through with this channel, yes, it is our journey, and yes, it is about what we're doing day to day, but yeah, as a whole, the scaffolding industry needs to be credited and needs to be valued for what it actually is, but can't build without us. There's just an awful lot that happens, and there's an awful lot that goes on that is just, yeah, so technical, and it isn't just like the average Joe can just go and stick it up, you know. Like, this is serious work. I also think it's about time that people in construction in general, yeah, are respected, because you look at COVID. Let's go back to COVID now. Who's keeping this country going? It's construction. The one of the main industries that was kept open and kept the country moving was construction, yeah? And there's boys that are in my company, boys that are in multiple companies in scaffolding that are earning more money than people in offices in central London, you know? And there's just a dynamic that needs to change, like the whole construction industry. Like, there just needs to be a shift in the reputation that we have, because yes, like some of the people in these offices, you've got highly intelligent people, on site, you've got people that are absolute workhorses that are providing for their families day in, day out, absolutely grafting. Like, that needs to be shown. Like with any situation, when there's negativity there, that's what spreads like wildfire, you know. That's what people catch on to, is the negativity, you know. When actually you look at this, you look at the flip side of it, and it's actually so positive. You know, you've got people that are grafters coming together, providing day in, day out. You know, I've got boys that are up at 4 AM in the yard at 5, loading lorries, grinding, driving jobs forward. Do you know what I mean? And then they're coming back, they're on the phone to me, planning the next day. You know, like, there's so much unforeseen out there, and there's so much unseen that it just does not get enough credit. And my channel, yeah, it's not just for you to track my journey, but it's also because I want others to be respected for what they do in this whole industry. I want to be the voice of construction in general, for people to see the graft of what goes on. And yes, I know there's other channels out there, yeah, but I feel like, and I've not really looked at them because I don't want it to come across anything like them. I feel like what we're doing is more my thing, and it's more my ethos and how I take things. And it's not going to be for everyone, yeah? And that's fine. I'm not trying to be. All I'm being is just real. But point blank, I just want people to know what construction brings to the table, not just scaffolding, and people to see that what happens day in, day out, and for it to get a little bit more respect than I feel it already has. Laddie, you right, bro? You good? Yes, mate, not bad at all. So we just touched down in Kensington. Obviously we've got the boys up here striking the crash deck, so they've made very good progress. There's a lot of work to get this in when this was going up. However, now it's coming down, it's flying out. We've got all the boards down on the deck already. We've got Vlad, Jay and Jake down there. So Vlad, Jay and Jake this morning, they put up a tower with Simon, so I'm a bit out of breath and coming up the stairs. But they put a tower up in Acton, which is sort of en route for us from where we come from. En route, whack the tower up in Acton, and then since that, they've come here with their empty lorry, and we've now got 2 lorries here. So we've got the tower crane, everything's being loaded from here over and down to the boys, where they're now getting it onto the lorry as quickly as possible. So we're gonna head in there now. We've got Zid, Kieran, Simon, Ross, Dritan and Drew. So we're gonna go in there now and see the boys cracking on. All right, Sam? What's happening? So we've got the boys just down onto my left now. So the crash deck that you saw obviously before, I was underneath it. Above me was the crash deck that we erected. Above that was the floor. The floor's now been broken out, so the crash deck is following as well. So the boys have done very, very well. Obviously we had a team here a day last week for a couple of hours, and they started pulling all the boards back so that we could start stripping the crash deck. But the issue we had is the crane wasn't ready, but we're back here now, and the boys this morning have made really, really good progress. So as you see here, you've got the tower crane there, which essentially is picking everything up from the floor here, and it's taking everything down in packs all the way down to the front to where the boys, Vlad, Jake and Jay are loading the lorries. So we've got a good system, we've got 2 lorries here, and it's moving at a very, very good pace. That's a docking, that is. Working too hard in Stellar Clothing.
Can I get a new t-shirt, please?
Yeah, I've got loads coming. You alright?
Yeah.
We mic'd up?
No. Explain what we've just done. No, I'm ill as fuck. No, you're giving it the small.
I'm ill, mate. So listen, off camera, they're all giving it the big one that they wanna be the director of the episode. It comes to it, the camera's out, the mics are ready, and they're flopping. All I'm hearing is excuses, and excuses do not pay bills. The boys are just up here now. Obviously, we're here pretty late, so the time is around 1 PM, and the boys have absolutely flown it, to be honest. But obviously, as you all know, if you're in scaffolding, if you're in construction, and for obvious reason, it comes out a lot quicker than it goes in. Simple reason being, when it's going in, it's all about getting your measurements, everything needs to be set out correctly. When it's coming down, it's just strip it and remove, you know, so there's no major thought process in place. The thought process that is in place is how we stack it. So obviously making sure here that we've got that end picked up, this end picked up, so that we can get the strops underneath, the straps, so we can pick everything up, and then it gets hooked onto our big friend over there, Mr. Crane. And then once that's done, he then lifts it to the boys out the front, as I explained earlier. So as you'll see now, obviously the boys, everything is stripped. Last time we were here, we were standing underneath this crash deck. Now that it's gone and stripped, we've got a nice exposed building, and yeah, lovely English weather in the skies as well. Middle of July, and look at it. What a place, what a place. But yeah, as you see, the boys have got a plan for everything. So obviously the beams are all stacked up, ready to go. These SKs, obviously these were what was tied on to the steel, so they were tied on here, tied underneath, and then we had this fixed in, and our tube sat in there, done up tight, and that was how our structure, our base for the scaffold. But obviously now with these are coming down, the boys are dropping them into ton bags. Obviously the ton bags have got a handle, they take a ton, hence they're called ton bags, and they can then obviously hook onto the crane as well, and it's then getting everything out. So obviously I had to pay for 2 of the cranes to come here, and to be honest, I was expecting to pay for another one, but an absolute touch. This is here, and it saved me about £1,000 this being here. So like I say, in business, like sometimes you win some, sometimes you lose some. We've had a few losses recently, but that there is a nice big fat gain. So yes, it's a touch for sure. Don't you start. Got a nice job for you Monday, very decent, I know. Nice job for you Monday. Big freestanding fucking loading base type scaffold in a church.
Oh, banging.
Yeah, it's a nice job.
Yeah, banging. Where about?
Monday morning. A church in London.
Yeah, banging. What are we doing in the
Yeah, I can't remember the location. Yeah, that's you Monday morning.
Banging.
Nice job that, innit?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Didn't expect that, did you?
Nice. Nice. Good doing job. Thank you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We say thank you.
Nice little job.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I said thank you. I thought, thank you. Yeah, no. Thank you very much.
Nice job, Andy Drew.
In the middle of a church.
Banging.
12 metres.
12 metres by 4 metres, isn't
Are
it?
you sure we're not going to set on fire when we go in there?
I'll start melting.
What's that?
Set on fire.
Listen, I might get there and confess my sins.
Yeah. Look how fresh he looks with his nice trim.
You short back and sides.
I reckon they thought I was dreaming, because I said in that group, didn't I, the group chat? I bet you thought it as well. I thought, and I knew, no one said nothing. I thought, they think I'm talking shit. They think that's never going to be a day. I just knew it. Because there wasn't, bro, there's not a lot in it really, is there?
Once you get the boards off,
That's what I mean.
just get
And then it's just, yeah. And we had numbers and the gear's been coming down. But yeah, so the boys were just, finishing up there now. Obviously this one here, I think that's going to be that's the main bulk of our work's done here now. Obviously we've got the external scaffold up. The client on this one has asked us to kind of keep the site confidential, so we'll honour that, no problem at all. So obviously we've showed you the bits inside. There may be little bits more to do here, like we've got to soon monoflex. Obviously at the minute we've got a debris netting on the outside, we've soon got to monoflex it. But yeah, it's a nice project. It came through from Mac Demolition. Obviously we did the demolition works there initially. Then after that the client was happy, so they kept us on, and we're now wrapped around for the remaining of the build. So I think we'll be there for about 52 weeks. I think was on the high 52 weeks. And then after that obviously it'll run into over hire. So yeah, it's been a nice project, and obviously I think that crash deck now is the end of our main scope of work. So yeah, the boys are just finishing on there now. We're getting back now. Obviously it's Friday, wages to pay, and I've got a couple more quotes I need to get in before the week's finished off. On the way back now to sort everything out. I know this episode, a lot of it has kind of been me, but it's just the way that things have been set up today. Obviously, like, we just need to run with this as things come. Like nothing's planned. It's all just as things come, you guys see it. So we have got some really nice stuff coming up very soon. We've got a big temporary roof starting next week. We've got a nice scaffold in the church, I'll show you next week as well. We've got a big hangar coming up in a data center. A lot of nice stuff coming up. There's some really nice projects. So you guys are going to see it all. And what I want to do as well, more and more, is obviously we're going to get the boys cameraed up more. And I want you to start seeing like how jobs are based out, like the process in the yard, like how the boys get in, like the process of everything. You know, I really want you just start seeing our processes and how things happen. And obviously, like I say, when I first started this channel, I mean, it's only a few weeks ago, the whole point is of the journey and where I want to get to and where we want to get to. And that's never changed, you know. We've got big goals, and well, I'm working and we're working every day to get there. But obviously, as you know, these things take time. This isn't a 5-minute process. It's probably not even a 5-year process, you know, to get where we need to get to. It takes time, years on years of graph. So, and I want you to see everything that goes into that, from an inquiry coming in to it being priced up, you know, to then the process of then who the job's allocated to what gang. Then once it's allocated, how they plan, how the lorry's loaded, how they get in there, how they set out, you know. And then once they're on site, it's about the paperwork, you know, the rams, signing onto the rams, then looking at how they're going to base it out, what's the best way to take the lifts up, you know. So all of these things, it's all stuff like, at the minute it's all been quite generic, and you kind of seen a picture from a job. You've had a walk around for some very nice projects, but you haven't seen yet in detail the way that things are done, and that's what I want you to start seeing. So obviously we're just running with this naturally as it comes and as things happen, but we're going to show you more and more. And yeah, like I say, this is something that's just hitting the ground running. So obviously we've got more ideas. We just invested in a new camera. We've got better mics, because obviously we were told that the sound wasn't great on those. And we're looking to do more. We're going to get drones, GoPro. So there's a lot we're going to do to really make this channel get better and better. So just stay with us, you know. And yeah, like I say, every single time, thank you for every single person who tunes in each week. And obviously if you're new to this, then obviously welcome. You're in early as well, and yeah, it's a part of a special journey. So if you haven't, please subscribe. Please do like and comment on the video. Any comments will always be responded to, as I always say. That's the end of this episode, but like I say again, thank you very much, and we'll see you again next week for episode 9.